The science of building a business is truly mathematical. And what you have to understand is that most people look at making money and building a business as multiplying. And that's not how the universe works. The universe works by expanding, but it expands by dividing. And as it divides, you have to think about how a star is formed. A star explodes inward and then multiplies. And those particles then form together. And when those particles form together, and it creates mass. It's all electromagnetic charge. But the building of the business is no different than the star exploding and expanding. So it's about what you give and what you provide. That's the ticket. And that's what everybody's missing. Everybody's thinking about me. What can I get? How can I take? Let's do drop shipping. Let's mass market. Let's take in people's money and multiply it for them. And while all these things work in the short term, there's always booms and busts and falls, and there's hardship, and it's a lesson that the universe is teaching you, and nobody's paying attention, that the universe is teaching them, that the power is within them and the power is within their heart is through dividing and giving. That's what it comes down to. In order to succeed, you must give of yourself, and then it's sustainable. Because if you provide value and you give of yourself, it multiplies. You divide of yourself when you have children. You give of yourself and a child is formed. So it's the division that actually creates prosperity and the growth, not the ego and multiplying. Our world is formed on physics, not biochemistry, not ego. We may live in an egocentric world, and we absolutely do. But it doesn't mean that that's the answer, is to live in that egocentric world. Because you're going to go through the hardships and the hard lessons, the karmic lessons. You're going to go through the dark night of the soul until you finally awaken of the true nature that's within you and within your heart, and that is to give. And through giving, you receive. So when you think about that person, as this is how I run my practice, I think about somebody. I haven't seen them in a while. Just wonder how they're doing. I'll just give them a phone call. I'm giving myself, I actually genuinely care about the people that I see. And I'm always taking seminars and trying to find other doctors to learn so I can provide more and more value and help in other ways. Because I genuinely care. And it doesn't matter your type of business. How can you provide, how can you serve? Not through the ego, but how can you actually truly provide value to others? Right? Everybody wants three things. They want money, they want love, and they want health. And usually they try to force those things to happen and will them to happen when they didn't really have to force anything. They were your birthright, but you chose to live in ego and you chose to force things. And then you had these booms and busts, these karmic lessons and dark nights of the soul repetitively. It's a cycle over and over and over. And all you ever had to do was get out of yourself and truly think, what can I provide and how can I truly help these people? How can I make the world a better place? Because we never know how the universe is going to award us with abundance. It may not come in the form of a patient or a client paying you. It might come as someone showing up in your life to guide you to a donation if somebody sees the greater cause. So they weren't even your client, but they believe in what you're doing. They believe in you, and they want you to write a book to spread the knowledge and create more awareness on earth of the power that's within you. The money didn't come directly, it came indirectly because you chose to give of yourself. So you have to question the path that you're on and what are you truly providing? What is the right thing to do for society, and how can we change the planet and make it more prosperous? How can we change the frequency that's out there and bring the universe into a more aligned mission, a more heart-centered planet where the ecosystem just thrives? Whether you give by making the planet sustainable, whether you provide health services, whether you provide financial security, whether you provide roads and transportation, whether you provide water, whether you provide shelter, whatever it is a matter of just, how do I serve? And with that, you'll never go without. But the more you give and the more true you are, the more money that will come. And that money will multiply by dividing, because you gave it yourself. So it's the division first that brings the multiplication. Not just drop shipping some garbage product. Not selling some silly trinket that's the fad, make a bunch of money, and then you eventually probably run out. Because you didn't really, truly make a difference in the world other than making somebody happy in the moment. So think about the actions you take and how the laws of the universe actually work. Because in understanding, like Nikola Tesla says, energy, frequency, and vibration, by understanding the law of division and the geometric shapes that are formed into matter, you will realize that through the heart you transform and create those shapes. And it manifests in the thing that you desire. Not by focusing on the thing you desire, but by giving. So go inside, spend time outside, decide what is my mission, how am I going to provide for society, divide of yourself and watch that multiply with very little effort. And in case you think I'm crazy and you don't believe what I'm saying about the law of division and creation, look up 0.1 hertz and then tell me what's real, because that's the heart's and mind's coherence, 0.1 hertz. It's shown, and that's what produces the theta state that's where manifestation happens. Look up 0.1 hertz. Everyone's considered crazy until they're not. Everyone wants to fight them. Everyone wants to call them crazy until they join them. So look it up. You don't have to take my word for it. This is real. We're in a new age of Aquarius that's coming. And not everyone's going to come, but as the ones who awaken through their heart, they will experience a world of infinite potential.